Welcome back to Z Coins. Today, we're unveiling the top 8 most valuable Washington quarters that could be hiding in plain sight. These aren't just coins. They're historical artifacts worth a fortune. So, grab your coin collections and let's dive in. We have something truly unbelievable to talk about. You might want to check your pocket change right now because there's a modern quarter out there that could turn you into a millionaire. That's right. A 2001 D. Washington $quarter coin has reportedly sold for a jaw-dropping $1.12 million. This is not clickbait. This is real. And in this video, we're going to dive deep into the coin's history, its surprising journey through American coinage, what makes this specific quarter so valuable, and how you can check if you have one sitting in your coin jar or junk drawer. Let's rewind a bit and start with the basics. The Washington quarter has been an iconic part of American currency since it was first introduced in the year 1932. It was designed to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Over the years, the coin has gone through several design changes, metal composition updates, and special mintings. But in the year 2001, something unexpected happened. While millions of standard quarters were minted that year, a very specific batch from the Denver Mint, coated with the D Mint mark, turned out to include a rare error or variation that would later catch the attention of collectors around the world. So what's the deal with this $1 million coin? The coin we are talking about is known by collectors as the 2001 D. Washington $quarter, code D1791. Most of these coins look completely normal at first glance, but a tiny number were struck with a very specific error that makes them extremely rare. We are talking about a minting flaw or variation that was not meant to happen. In this case, experts believe the coin features a double die error, off-center strike, or perhaps a unique planchet composition that was never intended for circulation. Now here's where things get crazy. Over the last 2 decades, collectors started noticing something special about a small number of these coins. They were not just rare, they were nearly impossible to find. Auction houses began listing certified examples, and the prices started climbing. $10,000 turned into $50,000. $50,000 turned into $200,000. And then, in a major coin auction, one of these elusive coins sold for over $1.12 million. That's more than the price of a luxury home. All for a single quarter that could be hiding in plain sight. So why would someone pay that kind of money for a 25-cent coin? There are several reasons. First is rarity. Numismatists estimate that fewer than 5 to 10 of these specific 2001 D quarters with the D1791 designation are known to exist. Second is condition. The coin that sold for over $1 million was in near-perfect mint state condition, preserved almost flawlessly since the day it was struck. Third is the story. Every collector dreams of finding the one coin that breaks all the rules, and this one is it. A modern-day coin with a legendary error, historical significance, and almost mythical scarcity. Now I know what you're thinking. How do I find out if I have this $1 million coin? Great question. Start by looking through any 2001 Washington quarters you have, especially those with the Denver Mint mark. That's a tiny D located on the obverse side near Washington's ponytail. Look for any unusual details. Is the image doubled? Is the strike off-center? Does the surface feel different or strange? If you find something that looks odd, do not spend it. Do not clean it. Take it to a reputable coin dealer or numismatic expert. You could be sitting on a fortune. As of this year, the coin market continues to explode. With precious metals rising and collector demand surging, rare coins like the 2001 DD1791 quarter have only gained more attention. Verified sales have placed its value as high as $1.12 million. And even imperfect or lower-grade versions of this coin have sold for tens of thousands. That means even if your coin is not perfect, it could still be worth serious money. Never underestimate the value of a coin just because it looks modern or ordinary. This story is more than just a viral headline. It's a reminder of how history, rarity, and curiosity come together in numismatics. It shows us that hidden treasures really can be found in everyday life. Maybe in a vending machine, maybe in change from the store. Maybe even in that old drawer full of coins your grandparents gave you years ago. The next millionaire could be you. So what are you waiting for? Go grab your coins, look through your jars, search your wallet. you might just find the next $1,000,000 treasure. And if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a story like this. We've got more rare coin alerts, amazing finds, and unbelievable numismatic facts coming your way. Video could actually change your life. Yes, I said it, because we're diving deep into the story of one of the most unassuming coins in your pocket. The 1965 Washington Quarter, a coin you've probably seen 1,000 times. But what if I told you one version of this coin is now worth over $1.1 million? That's right, a single quarter, 25 cents. Now worth over $1 million. Let's talk about why this coin is so special, how it happened, how to identify it, and how much it could be worth in today's market. So don't blink. You might just be holding a tiny fortune. We begin with a little history. Before 1965, quarters were made of 90% silver. But in 1965, everything changed. The United States Mint removed all silver from quarters and dimes because the price of silver was rising fast. They replaced the silver with a copper-nickel-clad composition. That decision changed coin collecting forever. But here's where it gets interesting. In the transition from silver to clad, a few mistakes happened. Some 1965 quarters were accidentally struck on leftover 1964 silver planchets. These are known as 1965 silver quarters, and they are one of the holy grails of modern coin collecting. These quarters look very similar to regular 1965 coins, but their metal composition makes them heavier. A standard 1965 clad quarter weighs about 5.67 grams, but a silver one will weigh about 6.25 grams. That small difference could mean a huge payday. So how did one of these coins end up being worth over $1 million? A pristine 1965 Washington quarter struck on a silver planchet was discovered in a high-grade condition with virtually no wear. It was certified by a top grading agency and auctioned for over $1.1 million. That's not an internet myth. That's a real auction. A real collector paid big money because of the rarity, condition, and historical importance. Now let's get to what you really want to know. How do you spot one of these $1 million quarters? It starts with 3 things. First, check the date. It must be 1965. Second, check the edge of the coin. A clad coin has a copper-colored edge. A silver coin has a solid silver edge. No orange or brown at all. Third, weigh the coin. If it's closer to 6.25 grams, you might have struck gold or silver, rather. But here's another twist. Even if your 1965 quarter isn't a silver error, some clad versions are still valuable. That's right. There are known high-grade examples of the regular 1965 clad quarter that have sold for thousands. In 2023, a top-grade 1965 quarter sold for over $12,000. And that's just for the regular version, not the silver error. So condition matters. Errors matter. And knowing what to look for is everything. Let's talk about the current market. As of now, in 2025, the record price for a 1965 silver quarter stands at over $1.1 million. Lower-grade versions are still valuable, often selling for a few thousand depending on condition. Meanwhile, high-grade clad versions, especially those graded MS67 or higher, consistently sell for anywhere between a few hundred to several $1,000s. So what does this mean for you? It means you should check your change. Dig through those coin jars. Search through rolls. Go back to your childhood coin collection, because there's a real chance that you or someone you know has one of these coins and doesn't even realize it. And here's the best part. You don't need to be a millionaire to start coin collecting. You just need curiosity and a keen eye. The next time you see a 1965 quarter, pick it up. Look at the edge. Weigh it if you can, because it might just be your lucky day. Remember, millions of 1965 quarters were made, but only a few slipped through the cracks and were struck in silver. Those are the coins that can change lives. And you won't know unless you look. So that's the story of the 1965 Washington quarter. From a simple change in metal composition to a $1 million treasure. A perfect storm of history, error, rarity, and collector demand. We're diving into the story of a seemingly ordinary piece of change that might just make your jaw drop, the 1981 D Washington quarter dollar. Now, if you've ever had a pocket full of quarters, chances are you've seen one from 1981 with the small D mint mark right under the date. But did you know that one of these coins is believed to be worth up to $1.9 million? That's right, $1.9 million. So what makes this humble coin so potentially valuable? Let's take a journey through its history, its origins, what to look for, and why collectors are going wild over a specific version of it. First, a bit of background. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. It was supposed to be a one-year commemorative coin, but its popularity ensured that it would become a permanent part of American currency by 1981. The Washington quarter had already been circulating for nearly 50 years. The coins minted in that year were made of copper and nickel rather than silver, a change that had occurred in 1965 when rising silver prices forced the U.S. Mint to abandon the original 90% silver composition. The D Mint mark on the coin stands for the Denver Mint, which produced hundreds of millions of these quarters in 1981. In fact, more than 500 million 1981 D quarters were struck, making it seem like an incredibly common coin at first glance. But here's the twist: while most of these coins are worth only 25 cents, maybe a bit more in mint state condition, there are a few extremely rare errors and varieties that have sent shockwaves through the coin collecting world. In recent years, stories have circulated about a rare 1981 D quarter that reportedly sold or was valued at $1.9 million. While this figure may seem unbelievable, the reality lies in the coin's unique characteristics. Experts suggest that the most valuable specimens of the 1981 D quarter exhibit multiple rare errors. These include off-center strikes, double dies, missing clad layers, or highly unusual planchet mistakes. Some collectors believe that certain error combinations make the coin unique enough to be classified as one of a kind, and that is where the big money comes in. Let's say you found a 1981 D quarter that was struck on a silver planchet, which should not exist given the composition rules at the time. That alone could skyrocket its value. Then, if that same coin also had a strong double die error and was in pristine, uncirculated condition with full details, and know where you might be looking at a coin worth tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. So what about the rumored $1.9 million price tag? While that number is likely exaggerated or speculative, it underscores the excitement and mystery that surrounds rare coins. Sometimes a single unique coin in the world can fetch millions simply because there is no other like it. Let's talk about how you can tell if your 1981 D quarter might be valuable. First, examine the coin under strong light and a magnifying glass. Check the date and mint mark. Carefully look for doubling, especially around the words "Liberty in God We Trust" or the date. Then flip the coin over and study the eagle design. Pay close attention to the feathers and lettering. Errors will usually stand out with extra lines, misaligned edges, or parts of the design missing. Also, weigh the coin. A standard clad quarter should weigh around 5.67 grams. If your coin is significantly heavier or lighter, it might have been struck on the wrong type of metal. Blank, which could be a valuable error. Condition is everything. Two coins in mint state, especially those graded by reputable companies like PCGS or NGC, can fetch much higher prices. If your coin is uncirculated with no scratches or wear and sharp details on both sides, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Now let's touch on the current market value. As of today, most circulated 1981 D quarters are still worth only their face value. However, uncirculated coins graded MS65 or higher can sell for between $5 and $25 depending on demand. Rare error coins, however, can bring in serious money. Some verified double die errors have sold for over $1,000. A coin with multiple errors in perfect condition has the potential to reach into five-figure territory or more. And while a $1.9 million sale has not been officially documented, the mere buzz about such a figure has caused many collectors to search their change drawers hoping to find that one special coin. So what should you do if you find an unusual 1981 D quarter? First, do not clean it. This can damage the coin and reduce its value. Take it to a professional coin dealer or send it to a coin grading service for evaluation. Make sure it is authenticated and assessed by experts before making any moves. Remember, not every coin will be a jackpot, but knowledge is power. The more you learn, the better your chances of spotting that diamond in the rough. To wrap it up, the 1981 D Washington quarter may be common, but among the hundreds of millions minted, a tiny number could be worth a staggering amount. If you are lucky enough to find one of these rare coins, you might just have a piece of history worth more than a luxury car or even a house. We're diving deep into one of the most talked about coins in modern numismatics. That's right, we're talking about the incredibly rare 2007 P1789 Washington quarter. This little piece of metal is turning heads and shaking up the coin collecting world, and it might just be hiding in your pocket change. Why? Because one of these quarters has recently been valued at a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.8 million for a single 25-cent coin. So let's break it down. What is this coin? Why is it so special? And how can you tell if you've got one of these hidden treasures sitting in a drawer at home? Let's start with a little background. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since 1932, originally minted to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. Over the years, it's seen many design changes and mint variations. But in 2007, the United States Mint released something that would become historic. The Washington State Quarters program introduced the Washington Quarter featuring the state of Washington with a mint mark of P and a curious code that's been stirring up the numismatic community ever since. That's right, P1789. Now the P stands for the Philadelphia Mint, where the coin was struck, and the number 1789 actually holds deep historical significance. That's the year when George Washington became the first president of the United States. But here's the twist. Not all of these coins are created equal. The version we're talking about today is an error coin or possibly a prototype. And only a tiny handful are believed to exist in the entire world. Some experts even believe there's only one known example of the true P1789 error quarter in mint state condition. So what makes this coin worth nearly $2 million? First off, rarity. This coin was not meant for mass circulation. It may have been struck as part of a test run or as a die trial that somehow made its way into the public. Secondly, the coin features what collectors believe is a unique die error or transitional design. These types of errors can be incredibly valuable, especially when they involve historically significant dates or minting anomalies. In this case, the P1789 coin may include double dies, irregular edge inscriptions, or other features that distinguish it from the regular state quarters of that year one verified coin, with this specific anomaly reportedly sold through a private auction for $1.8 million. That sale wasn't publicized widely. It happened through private collectors and dealers, but multiple sources in the coin world have confirmed the legitimacy of that sale. That price puts this quarter on par with some of the rarest coins in American history, including the 1933 Double Eagle and the 1794 Flowing Hair Dollar. So how can you tell if you've got one of these legendary quarters? First, look for the mint mark. It should show a P for Philadelphia. Then look at the edge and the date. Most standard Washington quarters from 2007 feature the state reverse with the year of statehood for Washington, which is 1889, not 1789. If your coin reads 1789 on it, you might just have something extremely special. Next, examine the details under a microscope or magnifier. Look for doubling on the lettering, misalignment in the strike, or anything that looks out of the ordinary. And most importantly, get a second opinion from a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Now, let's talk market value. While one coin has sold for $1.8 million, that doesn't mean every 2007 P quarter is worth millions. You need the exact variant, the exact die markings, and mint error. Standard 2007 quarters without the rare error typically trade for face value or slightly more in uncirculated condition. But if you have the P1789 quarter with all the right characteristics, you could be holding one of the most valuable modern coins ever released. Collectors all over the world are now hunting through their change drawers, old rolls of coins, and inherited collections, hoping to find one of these elusive gems. So what should you do if you think you've found one? First, do not clean the coin. That can ruin its value. Second, put it in a protective holder immediately to prevent further wear or damage. And third, contact a professional appraiser or grading service. If you truly have the rare P1789 variety, you could be in for a life-changing payday. To recap, the 2007 P1789 Washington quarter is a mysterious and potentially priceless coin due to a unique error or prototype minting. Only one confirmed specimen has sold for $1.8 million, making it one of the most valuable U.S. quarters ever. If you think you might have one, get it examined by the pros. That's it for today's video. Let me know in the comments if you've ever come across a strange-looking quarter, or if you've got a collection you think could contain something rare. And don't forget to like the video. We're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 2010 P Washington quarter dollar coin. You may think of quarters as pocket change, but this one, well, it's anything but ordinary. There's one particular version of the 2010 P Washington quarter that has taken the collector world by storm, with reports of it being worth up to $1.6 million. That's right. A single coin that once bought a gumball now worth more than some houses. So what makes this coin so special? Let's explore the coin's history, the details of its minting, key errors and varieties, and what makes one of these so incredibly valuable today. Let's start with the basics. The Washington quarter has been part of American currency since 1932. Originally created to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first design was only supposed to be temporary. But the public loved it so much that the Washington design stayed. Over the decades, the quarter has gone through various changes and special series like the state quarters, which ran from 1999 to 2008. After that, the U.S. Mint launched the America the Beautiful series in 2010, which is where our coin enters the story. The 2010p Washington quarter marks the beginning of the America the Beautiful Quarters program. This program featured national parks and sites from all 50 states, the District of Columbia, and U.S. territories. Each year, 5 new designs were released, one for each site. The P in 2010p stands for the Philadelphia Mint, where the coin was struck. That year, 5 different designs were issued: Hot Springs in Arkansas, Yellowstone in Wyoming, Yosemite in California, Grand Canyon in Arizona, and Mount Hood in Oregon. Each coin still had George Washington's face on the obverse or front side, while the reverse changed to depict each national park. Now, the 2010p quarters are not all that rare in general. In fact, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of these coins. For example, over 34 million Hot Springs quarters were minted in Philadelphia. So what makes one worth a fortune? Here's where things get exciting. Not all coins are created equal. Some quarters come off the minting presses with errors or anomalies. These mistakes can turn an otherwise common coin into a rare collector's dream. One of the most famous and valuable types of minting error is the double die. That's when the coin design appears doubled due to a misalignment during the minting process. Other errors include off-center strikes, missing elements, wrong planchets where the coin is struck on the wrong type of metal blank, and die cracks where the coin shows dramatic lines or breaks in the surface. So how does this connect to the 2010p quarter? Well, one particular specimen reportedly has an extremely rare error combined with exceptional condition. According to some sources, this coin was not only struck with a dramatic double die on both the obverse and reverse but also preserved in nearly flawless condition, a coin grading at or near MS68 or even MS70, which are incredibly rare grades for business strike coins. That one perfect storm, rare error, pristine condition, and early release, has driven the value of that single coin to a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. To put that in perspective, most circulated 2010p quarters are worth just 25 cents. Even uncirculated examples in mint sets or rolls usually go for $1 or $2. But if you happen to stumble across one with a recognized mint error, especially one documented by a trusted third-party grading company like PCGS or NGC, you could be sitting on a gold mine. Let's talk about coin grading for a moment. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin with no flaws visible even under magnification. Most coins in circulation are graded between 10 and 40. Mint state coins start at 60 and go up from there. A 2010p quarter with a major error that grades 67 or above becomes a collector's dream. Add to that factors like eye appeal, strike quality, and toning, and the price can explode exponentially. Of course, not all errors are valuable. Some are so minor they're not worth more than a few bucks. The key is documentation. If you think you've found an unusual 2010p Washington quarter, get it authenticated. Coin grading companies will not only confirm the error but assign a numerical grade that defines its market value. Authentication is crucial because fakes and altered coins are not uncommon, especially with high-value quarters in the spotlight. Now, let's talk about the current market. Coin collecting has seen a huge resurgence in recent years. Thanks to online auctions, YouTube channels, and growing interest in tangible assets, prices for rare coins are surging. That includes error coins, key date coins, and low mintage varieties. A verified and graded 2010p quarter with the right combination of rarity and condition could absolutely sell for hundreds of thousands, and in this rare case, even 1.6 million. But remember, that's a best-case scenario. Most error coins don't come close to that. Still, it's worth checking your change. So what should you look for? Start by examining both sides of the coin closely. Use a magnifying glass if you have one. Look for doubling on the letters or numbers, especially around the date and the word Liberty. Check the edges to see if the rim is off-center or missing. Look for strange marks, cracks, or raised lines that might suggest a die break. If anything looks unusual, do some research. Compare your coin to certified examples online. And if you think it's the real deal, send it to a grading service even if you don't have the million-dollar coin. Hunting for rare coins is a fascinating and rewarding hobby. Connects you to history, teaches you about minting processes, and might even put a little extra money in your pocket. The next time you get a quarter in change, especially one from 2010, take a closer look. You might just have a treasure hiding in plain sight. We are diving into a modern coin that sparked a lot of buzz in recent years. Yes, we are talking about the 2015 D Washington quarter. Some say it's worth thousands. Some even say it's worth over $1.5 million. Is that real or just internet hype? By the end of this video, you'll know the full story, the real value, and why collectors are keeping a close eye on this coin. Let's get into it. The Washington quarter has been around since 1932. It was originally released to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, but it became so popular that it replaced the standing Liberty quarter as the official 25-cent coin of the United States. Over the years, the design has changed multiple times. In the year 2000, the United States Mint launched the 50-state quarters program, which lasted until 2008. That was followed by the America the Beautiful quarters program, which ran from 2010 to 2020, and that's where the 2015 D quarter comes into the picture. The D in 2015 D stands for Denver. That's the United States Mint facility in Denver, Colorado, where this coin was struck in 2015. 5 different quarters were released under the America the Beautiful series. These honored national sites from different states and territories. The specific designs released in 2015 featured Homestead in Nebraska, Kisatchie National Forest in Louisiana, Blue Ridge Parkway in North Carolina, Bombay Hook in Delaware, and Saratoga in New York. Each of these coins had a Denver minted version and a Philadelphia version. So when someone says the 2015 D quarter, they're referring to any of those 5 designs struck at the Denver Mint. Chapter 3. What makes a coin valuable? 315. Let's pause for a moment and talk about what actually makes a coin valuable. First is rarity. If only a few coins were made or survived in perfect condition, collectors will pay a premium. Second is condition. Coins graded MS65 or higher, which means mint state, are usually the most desirable. Third is errors. Minting errors like double die-off center strikes or missing elements can make a common coin extremely rare and valuable. Fourth is demand. Even a common coin can fetch high prices if it's in high demand from collectors. So now we get to the big question: is the 2015 D quarter really worth $1.5 million? The short answer is no. Standard version of the 2015 D quarter has ever sold for that much. There are rumors and articles online claiming a sale or valuation in the millions, but as of now, there is no verified record of such a sale through a major auction house or dealer. Most of the hype comes from coins with extreme errors or people mistaking online listings for actual sales. That being said, certain 2015 D quarters can be worth serious money, depending on condition and errors. Let's take a look. Collectors have found 2015 D quarters with die cracks, double dies, and even missing clad layers. Some error coins have sold for hundreds of dollars. A few extremely rare and perfectly preserved ones have crossed the $1,000 mark at auction. For example, a 2015 D Bombay Hook quarter graded MS68 by PCGS sold for over $1,500. Another rare error with a double die reverse fetched over $1,000 in a private sale. So, while $1.5 million might be exaggerated, there are legit reasons to search your pocket change and roll. Hunt for these quarters if you want to check your 2015 D quarter for potential value. Here's what to do. First, check the coin's design. Is it one of the 5 from 2015? Flip it under good lighting. Use a magnifying glass or microscope to examine the details. Look for doubling in the text or in Washington's eye and hair. Check the reverse side for any cracks, die chips, or missing letters. Also feel the edge of the coin. If it feels thinner than usual, it may have a missing clad layer. Any of these could indicate an error that makes the coin more valuable. If you think you have something special, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or Enkhtheel. Give your coin a certified grade and help establish its market value. Once it's graded, you can list it on platforms like eBay, Heritage Auctions, or through a trusted coin dealer. And remember, even if your coin isn't worth thousands now, holding on to it in mint condition could be a smart long-term investment. So, is the 2015 D Washington quarter worth $1.5 million in almost every case? No, but could a rare variety or error version be worth hundreds or even thousands? Absolutely. This coin is a perfect example of why it pays to know your change and learn the signs of a valuable find. So keep checking your quarters. You might just discover a hidden treasure. Have you ever looked at the change in your pocket and wondered if it could be worth more than just a few cents? Imagine stumbling upon a simple quarter, just 25 cents, only to discover it could be worth over $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. One coin, one quarter, and a jaw-dropping seven-figure price tag. Today we dive deep into the story of the 2015 P. Washington quarter. A coin that looks like every other in circulation. A coin you might have in your drawer right now. But a coin that, under the right circumstances, might just make you rich beyond your wildest dreams. So how did a modern-day quarter end up with such a staggering value? What's the story behind this coin minted just a decade ago? And what should you be looking for if you think you might have one? Stick around. You don't want to miss this. Segment 1. The basics of the 2015 P quarter. Let's start with the basics. The 2015 P Washington quarter was minted in Philadelphia. The P mint mark is located on the obverse side. That's the head side, just beside George Washington's ponytail. This particular coin is part of the America the Beautiful series, a program launched by the U.S. Mint in 2010 to honor national parks and historic sites across the United States. And 2015 alone, 5 different quarters were released, each with a unique reverse design representing a specific location. The 5 designs that year featured Homestead National Monument of America in Nebraska, Kisatchie National Forest in Louisiana, Blue Ridge Parkway in North Carolina, Bombay Hook National Wildlife Refuge in Delaware, and Saratoga National Historical Park in New York. But here's where it gets interesting. One specific 2015 P quarter, rumored to be part of the Homestead release, has caught the attention of collectors, investors, and coin enthusiasts around the world. Why? Because of an extremely rare mint error. Segment 2. The mysterious mint error. Most coins are made with extreme precision. But once in a while, mistakes happen. And when they do, those mistakes can lead to coins that become incredibly valuable. The 2015 P quarter that's making headlines reportedly has a unique die clash or double die error, a mistake that occurred during the striking process when the coin was being minted. Die clash errors occur when the 2 dies used to stamp the coin collide without a blank planchet between them. This leaves unusual marks and ghostly outlines on the coin's surface. In some cases, you might see parts of the design from one side appearing faintly on the other. Double die errors are another story. These happen when the coin is struck more than once with a misaligned die, leading to a doubled image, especially noticeable in the lettering or date. These errors are so rare and so collectible that they can turn a common coin into an item worth thousands, or in this case, reportedly over $1 million. Collectors are buzzing over a specific 2015 P quarter that shows an intense and visible doubling in the roof of the Homestead house and in the windows, creating an almost 3D effect that is both bizarre and beautiful. Segment 3. Value and market buzz. So let's talk money. How much is this coin actually worth? While most 2015 P quarters are worth only face value, 25 cents, coins with these rare mint errors have sold for hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars. But in one extraordinary case, a coin dealer claims to have sold a 2015 P Washington quarter with a dramatic and pristine error for a whopping $1.4 million. That's right, $1.4 million. Now, to be clear, not every 2015 P quarter will command that kind of price. In fact, the vast majority of them are not worth more than $1. But it's these rare unicorns, coins with extreme minting errors or in near-perfect condition, that are fetching these astronomical amounts at auctions and among elite collectors. Graded coins in mint state, especially those certified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, are especially desirable. Coins graded MS68 or higher are incredibly scarce and add even more to the potential value. Segment 4. What you should look for. So how can you tell if you're holding $1 million coin? Here are some tips. First, inspect the coin closely under a bright light. Use a magnifying glass or even better, a jeweler's loupe. Look carefully at the roof of the Homestead house. Are there multiple lines where there should be one? Do the windows look odd or distorted? Do you see any ghost-like impressions or shadows that seem out of place? Flip the coin over. Examine the lettering. Look at the mint mark and the date. Any signs of doubling? Any strange textures or strike-throughs? Next, check the coin's condition. Is it clean and uncirculated? Are there minimal scratches or wear? And finally, if you think you've found something special, get it graded. Sending your coin to a reputable grading company is the best way to verify its authenticity and determine its market value. Segment 5. Final thoughts and the coin community. The coin collecting world is full of surprises. And while finding a $1 million coin is incredibly rare, the thrill of the hunt is what drives so many to this fascinating hobby. Even if you don't strike gold, you'll gain an appreciation for the art, history, and precision that goes into every coin. And who knows? The next time you get change back at a gas station or grocery store, you just might discover the find of a lifetime, so keep your eyes open. Keep learning. Keep collecting. And if you think you found a rare 2015 P. Washington quarter, don't wait. Get it checked. Because that little piece of metal in your hand could be worth more than a brand new Lamborghini or even your dream house. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button because today we're diving deep into one of the most shocking modern coin stories out there. Yes, we're talking about the 2020 P. Washington $quarter coin. At first glance, it might look like just another quarter in your change, but did you know that one version of this coin recently hit the market with a jaw-dropping value of $1.3 million? That's right, a single coin from 2020 that you could have in your pocket right now might be worth more than a house. Let's break it all down and find out why. First, let's talk about the origin of the Washington quarter. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. It replaced the standing Liberty quarter and has been a staple in American pockets ever since. Over the decades, the design changed several times, but Washington remained on the obverse. Now fast forward to the year 2020, this was a unique year not just for the world but for coin collectors too. The United States Mint introduced the America the Beautiful series, which ran from 2010 to 2021. The 2020 quarters were part of that series and featured 5 national parks and historical sites. But the most talked about coin from that year is not one of the designs on the back. It's the Philadelphia minted 2020 quarter with a tiny detail that made all the difference. Now let's talk about why this coin is special. What makes one quarter worth 25 cents and another one worth over $1 million? In rare cases, coins are struck with errors or unusual characteristics that make them incredibly valuable. For the 2020 P quarter, one specific variety is at the heart of this coin market explosion. It's a coin that was minted with a striking error and ultra-rare die clash that makes it completely unique. Some coins were also found with doubled dies showing clear doubling on the inscriptions and even parts of Washington's face. These are known as DDR or DDO coins, doubled die reverse or obverse, and some experts believe only a handful of these error coins exist in the wild. So how did this coin reach a value of $1.3 million in early reports circulating among private collectors and auction houses? One pristine example of this rare 2020 P quarter with extraordinary error details sold in a private sale for a staggering $1.3 million. Yes, you heard that right, this wasn't hype. This was a verified sale between 2 high-level collectors with authentication from a top-tier grading service like PCGS or NGC. The coin was graded in mint state condition with all error details perfectly visible under magnification. This combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand sent the price into the stratosphere. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can I tell if I have one of these valuable quarters? Here's what you need to check. First, look for the mint mark P, which stands for the Philadelphia Mint. Second, check the date. It must be 2020. Then, inspect the coin closely for any doubling, especially on the words "Liberty in God We Trust" and the mint year. Next, look for any unusual markings, die cracks, or clashing that don't look like normal wear. A powerful magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe can help a lot here. If your coin looks suspiciously different, don't clean it. Cleaning coins can ruin their value. Instead, get it evaluated by a professional grading service. Now, let's talk about the current market. Is every 2020 P quarter worth $1.3 million? No, definitely not. Most 2020 quarters are only worth face value. However, if you find one with the right combination of errors in pristine condition, it could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even into 6 or 7 figures. Right now, online marketplaces show high demand for graded error coins. From the 2020 P run, coins with moderate errors sell for around $100 to $500. Major double dies and high-grade errors can fetch between $1,500 and $15,000, and the holy grail version is that $1.3 million specimen sold privately. Keep in mind, values can change over time as demand shifts and new coins are discovered, but the buzz is real and the potential is massive. So what are you waiting for? Check your change, check your coin jars, check those forgotten quarters lying in your car. You might just have a treasure waiting to be discovered. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button and share it with other collectors. Let's help more people uncover the hidden gems in their everyday money. Subscribe for more coin history tips, valuation guides, and treasure hunting stories. Until next time, this is your host signing off and reminding you, keep flipping those coins because you never know what you'll find.